Maybe you just bought a lens. Maybe you've had a few lenses for a while, but you've never had time to play with them. Maybe you're out thinking about buying a lens. Whatever your story, we all find ourselves in the same situation. What lens should I use? How do I know what's the right lens for the right shot? Should I use a prime lens? Should I use a zoom? How long is it gonna take me to learn this stuff? Yo, Darius, BRITT here. So you wanna learn how to use camera lenses quick, fast, and in a hurry? Well, you've come to the right place, my friend. I'm not covering the basics of lenses in this video. I already did a video on the basics. I'll leave a link to that video in the description section. This is a video on how to pick up and absorb those basics fast so we can get to the fun part, which is bringing your vision to life. The game plan. The absolute best thing you can do to learn about a lens and how to use it is to spend a whole day with it. Take loads of pictures, videos, and tests using only that lens. Sounds like a complete no-brainer, right? But how many people do this? Where do we get lenses? Well, if you own them, then it's really easy. Take it out, dust it off, go use it. If you don't have any lenses, then you can borrow them from friends, family, or school, or you can steal them. Just joking. Or am I? You can always buy them, of course. You can rent from many places, one including lensrental.com, Prime Lenses. If you have Prime lenses, this is absolutely the best way to learn how to use them. Prime lenses have one focal length. They do not zoom, so you gotta use your feet to move closer or further away from your subject. Prime lenses are known for having sharper images and better picture quality because they have simpler construction with fewer moving parts. They handle low light better because they can take in more light with wider maximum apertures. Prime lenses tend to be a little tougher and take a little more time for newbies to get used to. So you're taking your lens out for a spin. What next? Well, you can test out different shots, close-ups, mediums, full shots. Take close-ups of hands, body parts too, not just the face. Try different camera angles, get a low angle, eye level, whatever you can think of. Try a few two shots with friends. Try out the minimum focusing distance with the lens. This is the closest distance you can get to your subject and still grab focus. Take note of the distances. How far away do you have to be to get a good close-up? Shoot in low-light situations, see what you get. How do we get subjects? The easiest thing to do is to follow a friend around and take shots as they get coffee or do their normal daily routine. For the two shots, same thing. If you catch two peeps together, you can just be creepy and run up on them and start taking pictures, or you can just ask them politely and then bribe them with Twinkies. I'm going to take this 85mm Rokinon for a spin and see what we get. I personally tend to go more wide than telephoto, so this is practice for me as well. I'm using a Canon 60D which has an APS-C sensor, so this 85mm lens is more like a 135 lens on a full frame camera, but that's in the world of photography. We're not concerned with that because in the film world, the APS-C sensor size is actually the same size as Super 35mm film. So that's code for don't worry about it. Well, all right, let's go out and shoot some We got the full setup happening today. Got the glide gear with the Giranos for the smoother shots, some cam accessories in case I need it, and then we got the 85. Might do some recording in a coffee shop. Usually if I'm gonna go out testing lenses or shooting, I don't take a tripod and a whole lot with me. I wanna try to keep my footprint as small as possible because you don't want people to get like sketched out. We got Kate Cannon.
Hey.
Boom. She's gonna be doing some modeling. She's gonna be the subject. I come to this little coffee shop on a regular basis, so I'm really familiar with the layout. Maybe you can... Started with some close-ups naturally. Worked on a little bit of short sighting. I was digging the shine coming off that table because I got some really cool reflections in the close-ups. So here I am exceeding the lens's minimum focusing distance. I'm basically too close to the subject to be able to grab focus. It's annoying. I like this shot, I like the framing, but I'm too close. I'm about 3.5 feet away here. Headed to another spot. Inside the coffee shop wasn't as pretty as I thought it would be, so note to self, if I ever want to get a location or something, I probably won't go there unless I'm shooting really tight the whole time. The walls have this really strange color. What color would you say those walls are? It's not like a doo-doo brown, but it's like a hard tan brown.
You know.
Thing that kills me about using primes is, you know, obviously you got to use your feet to zoom. There is no zoom, so But you run into these situations where like you'll have a shot that you really like a lot, but it's just not right, and sometimes like one step back or one step forward makes all the difference in getting that composition that you're looking for. But if you're really used to using zoom lenses all the time, then you're not really gonna think of that. I don't know, you've got some experience using zooms. Can really spoil you with the convenience factor, so it's good practice to get out with a prime and take pics. This graduation tent, whatever it is back here, is just blowing out my shots all over the place, so we're gonna flip sides and move her to the other side. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot better. The switch was good because now I'm even catching a little bit of hair light, which is nice. Hashtag booyah. So with that full body shot I just got of her, I'm about 20 feet away. I guess we can move to another location. Of course, naturally, the day I choose to go to campus to shoot something is the day there's a big graduation happening, so we have to contend with all the people floating around in their graduation gowns. Congratulations to them, by the way. We're probably not supposed to walk in this area, but I just want to walk in here anyway. Breaking all the rules.
All of them.
Every single last one of them. You know, after you do it, you realize all you're doing is just walking in an empty tent, but I think the only thrill, if there is any to be had, is that maybe we weren't supposed to do it.
Yeah.
If you want to get like a medium shot of somebody in an apartment, you're gonna have to get back at least like 10, 12 feet. Something to keep in mind. The next day, I took the 85 back out again and went to the Arturo Fuente cigar tasting event with my buddy Travis and his dad. You guys probably recognize Travis from a few of the shorts I've done. We went to film school together. I was about 4 feet away to get this extreme close-up. Again, this is a public event, not bringing a tripod, trying to keep a low footprint. You don't want to spook people. I was about 14 feet away to get this medium shot of this lady. This lens does not go by f-stops, it goes by t-stops. My t-stop was at 4. I really like this shot. I like the depth we see in the background. I like the magic hour-y clouds. This lady looks like one of my ex-girlfriend's moms. Thoughts. Framed up a over-the-shoulder close-up, and I was only about 5.5 feet away here. I rolled off some footage and imagined these two were having a conversation in a movie, and I recorded the convo with different angles. Now, there's not much light in this lounge, so I'm at T1.5 on the lens. I tried to get the reverse angle on Travis, but there wasn't enough room, so I had to settle for a really tight close-up. I cheated both the gentlemen a little further into the room. I am about 4 feet away at my minimum focusing distance here. My aperture is all the way open, and the lens is still very sharp. I like this shot right here with the cigars backlighting the two of them. Here I was about 16 feet away to get a medium 2-shot, taking note of the distances. I went back outside. It's getting darker. I had to crank the ISO up to 800. My aperture is still all the way open. I found some more conversations happening outside, and the image still looks relatively good. The lighting I'm not so wild about. Later on, another buddy joined in the conversation Trav was having with that one guy, and I had the opportunity to get a 3-shot. Of course, I couldn't get back far enough to get all 3 of them in the frame, so I just panned back and forth between the 3. It was too dark to get a decent exposure without cranking up the ISO, so I did a bokeh test to see what kind of sexy bokeh action I could get. The bokeh was nothing special. Sometimes with certain lenses, you can get some really interesting shaped bokeh. I usually shoot close-ups with a 50mm. After shooting around with this lens for a couple of days, I'm actually excited to use it in a short. Again, the recurring theme of the night for me, the minimum focusing distance was a little tough for me to get used to because I'm so used to shooting wide and I like to get right up close on my subjects. So this was good practice.
But yeah, I guess.
Thanks.
You know what? I'll go by.
It's nice to just hang out with some cool peeps, go to a cool location, relax, and just play around with a lens. Head to your right a few paces back to where you were. Right some more. Right a little bit more. Just trying to get you on that third. Yeah, there it is. I was at ISO 1000 T-stop, all the way open at 1.5. When you're all done, make a folder with all these test shots and recordings and save it somewhere. The contents in that folder should look like this. Tons of shots, tons of tests. When you have time, compare these shots with other shots you've taken using other lenses. You'll find what you like to use and what you don't like to use very quickly. This can become a really excellent tool because later on when you're planning a shot list, you can go back to this archive and remind yourself of the looks you've gotten with each lens. If you did this with 20 lenses, imagine how much you could learn and how quickly you could learn it. Well, I do believe that's all that I got for you. Links in the description for the lens that I used, and also I used the Lens Baby to get the trippy out of focus shots. Link in the description for that. I offer one-on-one chat sessions. If you are interested, bring your questions and concerns about filmmaking and YouTube. Link in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. Keep hustling, keep learning. BRITT out.
They would make a total of 6 stops on this traverse, collecting samples from large rocks,